Good afternoon, everyone. So today we are going to see the concept of business ethics. Okay. Uh, few lectures ago, we have discussed the concept of business ethics. Okay. We have discussed the meaning and the definition of business. What is business? And we have now today we are going to see the corporate governance activities. Okay. The social responsibility of corporate governance, the human rights that we are going to see. Okay. Before going further, I just want to discuss about the business ethics. What do you mean by business ethics? It is an act, decision, or behavior if it is an agreement with prevailing norms or standard of society. Okay, it is different from the law. In business terms, ethical decision provide the customer valid data about the product and services, free and informed choices, and an opportunity to generate greater commitment to the product and the organization that provides it. Okay, the basic element of ethical decisions are ethical imagination, ethical identification and ordering, ethical evaluation, tolerance of ethical disagreement and ambiguity, integration of managerial and ethical competence, and the service and ethical obligations. See, the concept of business business also we have to learn. Okay, what do you mean by business? It is a profit mainly concerned with the return received on the investment. The only purpose is to maximize the profit against the investment. Okay, so this is the concept of business. Now business with ethics. See, as I have told you the meaning and the definition of business ethics, right? You have know very well what do you mean by business ethics. Okay. Okay, business ethics is a number of issues are raised by this definition. One issue which is implement and the question of whether these are absolute standard or whether ethics always entitled a relative judgment compared to the prevailing norms of society. Okay, business business ethics tells us the story of the judgment whether the things are going in a proper way or not, the rules and regulation which is found in the business that we need to understand firstly. Okay, business is a generating not only the profit but against it is also a form that gives the benefit to the society as well. Okay, so business terms helpful for the both the things. Okay, now there are other things also, there are other activities also that we need to understand, that is called as ethics activity. Okay, ethics involve critical analysis of human acts to determine whether they are right or wrong in terms and the two major criteria, truth and justice. Okay, now there are few things that we need to understand. Okay, the first thing which we need to understand is the individual behavior in the organization, right? Sometimes the business norms which is being led by the rules and regulation of the company that should be followed by the business people. If it is not followed in a proper way, then definitely they are going to face a losses, right? To accomplish these losses, we need to understand that what are the business criterias and where the business is going in a forward way. Okay, there are certain things that we need to understand, right? In an organization, the working condition plays an important role, right? We are living in a we are living in a society in that there are lots of business organization are available. Okay, if you are working in any organization, their rules and regulation plays an important role, right? There are certain rules and regulation which is help to determine how the business wellness is defined. Okay, we need to understand the right and wrong which is happening in the ethical way, which does not create any kind of conflict or dispute in the organization, right? So over here we also have to understand the honesty of the business, right? Sometimes the business people, they are doing any kind of unethical work, and that unethical work is really harmful for the business people, right? I mean harmful for the society, because unethical work is not being properly judgmental, right? So many people are defined that ethically business ethics differently. One of the definition of business behavior in any business decision that create value for the customer by matching quality with prices. Thus, ethical decision is expected to provide a customer with valid data about the product and services. Okay. Now, the next thing which we need to understand that the business, what the business gives to the society, right? Okay. There are certain rules and regulations. There are certain standards which is being carried by the government of India, right? They have led in the government that the business people need to follow. Okay, in the Company Act, there are certain rules which the business need to follow. Okay, one by one, we can also discuss that. But in the first semester, we have seen that thing. Okay, so we are not going to go in a deeper way in that section. But we, yes, definitely we need to understand the basic concept of business ethics. Okay, so in business ethics, we also plays an important role. The things also plays an important role is that environmental protection regulation. Okay, setting pollution standards, the regulation, right? Environmental evaluation and the approaches of pollution control, reduction of health hazards, right? Reduce safety hazards, economical losses, reducing the noise, inconvenience, and the petrol pollution, the pollution control. These are the factors that also comes into the head of the business, because while doing business, there are lots of factors are coming, right? Transportation of goods from one place to another, right? Providing employment opportunities, providing the working condition of the environment. So these are the things that we need to understand. So for understanding these things, what we need to see, we need to see that the environment does not get any kind of pollution from the business activity, right? There are certain kind of pollution you also know very well: air pollution, water pollution, land pollution, soil pollution, right? So these pollution can also affect the society a lot. So what we need to understand, we need to see that these pollution should not create any kind of hazardous problem to the society. Okay, so we have seen these ethical laws in the previous lecture also. So we are going to see the next part of that, that is called as elements of business ethics, right? See, ethical imagination. Okay, developing ethical imagination means being sensitive to ethical issues and business decision making, and ability to identify these situations where the people are likely to affect the business making. Okay, so now see, uh, in an organization, you can see there are lots of members, those who are taking the decision. The authority is given to few people only. So there, that people should also have to think from the society point of view as well. Okay, because society plays a role society plays an important role over here, because from the society only the business are going to get a revenue, right? The business are going to earn a profit. So for earning profit, what we require to see that the business should get uh, for the earning profit, the business should require to have a good quality of product to be available in the society. But if the society is not paying a good attention towards it, then definitely they are going to face a losses, right? Because pollution kind of things is being happening, then the government should also have to look on it. They also have to ban the business those who are not satisfying the criterias, right? Criteria of the rules and regulation which is led by the Constitution of India and the Companies Act, right? So there are lots of other things also that we need to understand over here. Okay, now we are going to see the cases of social responsibility, right? Public change expectation from business, better environment of business, public image, avoidance of government regulations. So these are the problems that we are facing, right? Avoidance of government regulation. See, government has put a rules and regulation for the betterment of the society and for the betterment of the business, right? this business uh, this business rules and regulation is being certainly given to the people, those who are not giving a proper attention towards it. So what we need to understand, we need to see that the business should be able to grow in future. So for that reason, they should also have to satisfy the rules and regulation which is led by the government for the betterment of the society, right? uh, right, problems that becomes a profit. Okay, there are certain problems which is created for the society and which is the helpful for the business. So businessman should also have to see that these problems should not create a uh, more problematic situation for the society. So over here they need to see that whatever the issues are there, they should be carried away drastically. They should also have to see that these problems should not be there in future. So over here they need to understand that whatever the problem the society is saying, the society is facing, they need to close down that problems. They need to understand and they need to take a regular action upon it, because only one time action is not sufficient for them, because again and again the problem can arise. So they have to make a permanent solution for it. Okay, so these are the cases of social responsibilities for the society, right? Business plays an important role for the betterment of society. Okay, economic development or growth can be achieved only by the business people, because business people are the ones those who are helping the society to grow. Okay, for the growing purpose, they should also have to pay some charges, right, in the form of profit, which is being given to the businessman. So businessmen have to think from the society point of view also, from because from the society only they are going to generate a revenue, right? So they need to understand that these kind of things should not be happening in future, right? Now we are going to see a little bit point of the human rights. Okay, they provide individual with autonomy and equality in the free consult for their interest. Okay, it is such right have a universal acceptance. Okay, company that have to follow human rights during the operation and should be immensely benefited. Now see, I will give you a few examples of it. Growing awareness about the rights. Okay, human rights are independent in general rights. There are other rules also which has been set for the sake of the human rights, which is being led by the government of India. Now in the Constitution of India, which has been found in the year 1950, over there also, Dr. Baba Sahib Ambedkar, they also have given certain rights for the human, okay, which should be followed. But at this stage, this right has been followed only when there is a quarrel between the peoples, when there is a some kind of dispute in the society. That time only this right is being followed. But in the other certain condition also, the rights which is being given to the human, they should be followed. Okay. Now there are a lot of barriers which is happening in the society for seeking this right, such as transportation problem, right? Communication between the two peoples in the organization, right? For the organization also, government has played an important role. They also have given a lot of rules and regulation. These rules and regulations should be followed by them. Okay, the rules and regulations should be carried out with the help of uh, uh, the rules and regulations should be carried out with the help of the given Constitution of India. Now see, in the Constitution they have written the right for the motor vehicle, the Companies Act, right? In the Companies Act, they have also written some points for the labor laws, right? Some point for the employee benefits. So these are the points which is being properly led by the company for the betterment of the organization, right? So we need to understand such points. Now we are going to see the next point, that is the corporate governance. Okay, these all are the things we have discussed in previous lectures. We are going to see the challenges of environmental ethics. Okay, these environmental ethics challenges also environmental challenges and business opportunities. Okay, sustainable development of corporate strategy. Sustainability of business strategy is no more strange subject for the corporation. Okay, now see, in the book they have given the resources management through recycling. Okay, recycling plays an important role. Over they have given a lot of examples about the recycling, how the recycling is being done. Okay, now see, there are few sectors in which recycling activities can be done drastically. Okay, I will give you a few examples. Take an example of disposable paper plate business, right? FMCG business. In this business, day-to-day use of the product is being occurring. So over here, day-to-day business product are being used and thrown away. So we can use that product for the sake of future also. Okay, by keeping this product for the recycle purpose. Okay, now in the book they have also given the example of new opportunity for product differentiation. Okay, you know the meaning of product differentiation, right? Product differentiation means one product uh, with with a lot of qualities, right? See, I will give you an example. See, now there is a pen. Okay, in pen you can see there are other lots of types of pen. In one pen you can see the cap is small, in another pen you can see the cap is big. Okay, the writing ball pen is very, sometimes it is very much easy to use, but sometimes it is not very much easy to use. So there is a um, little bit changes in the pen. Okay, so that is called as a discrimination. I mean, the product is different from the other product, right? Be different in the sense of quality. It may be different in the sense of money also, right? Some pen price may be 8 rupees, 10 rupees, or some pen price may be 10 rupees, 12 rupees. Okay, it differs from quality to quality. Okay, so this is called a product differentiation. Their work is same, okay, but they are having a different qualities, different qualities and quantities, and there is a difference between there is a difference in shape and size, all this stuff. So that is called as a product differentiation. Okay, now this product differentiation really create a lot of problem for the future purpose as well. Now we are going to see the increasing profitability and maximizing of risks. Okay, role of government. Okay, over here also we can see the role of government. Government plays an important role for making rules and regulation and the policies for the betterment of society, right? These rules and regulation has been helpful for the society to increase their growth and development, right? Now see in that there are few acts which is passed in Indian parliament. Okay, the act passed in the environmental protection. Now they have given certain acts such as 42 amendment, state responsibility, rights and duties of the citizen. Okay, Indian Forest Act in 1927, Factories Act in 1948, uh, automatic energy act Atomic Energy Act in 1962. Okay, these all are the Insecticides Act in 1968, Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Water Prevention and the Control of Population Act 1970, Pollution Act in 1974, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Cess Act in 1977, Forest Conservation Act in 1980, Air Prevention and Control of Population Act in 1981, Environmental Protection Act 1986. So these are the act which is being helpful for the environmental protection, right? Then the environmental policy. Okay, the National Environmental Policy (NEP) 2004 was released by the Ministry of the Environmental and Forest. That is called as MOEF as a draft. The public discussion and the debate are going on. The objective are conservative of elect conserva- conservation of critical environmental resources, intra-generation equity, livelihood security for the poor. Okay, integration of environmental concern in economic and social development, efficiency in environmental resource use, environmental governance. So these are the environmental policies. Okay, this has been released by the Ministry of Environmental and Forest, that is called as MOEF. Okay, now resources like finance, technology, management skill, traditional knowledge, and the social capital have been enhanced for the environmental conservation. Now, there are some fundamental principles and assumptions to attain the goal. Okay, the foremost principle is to eradication of the poverty and empowerment of the poor. For all have a right to development. Okay, sustainable and right development are the two match words. Governance, which justice with justice making and the popular pay and a key of operation. Okay, now in this chapter we have discussed about the acts that is passed by the government protection, right? The rule of government, increasing profitability and maximizing risks. Okay, we have also seen the competition that emerging economics. Okay, we have also seen the sustainable development as a corporate study. So these are the important points that we need to study. Okay, then we are going to see the next point that is called as a Indian thoughts for business, right? See, India is a rich for the tradition business, right? Even today also in the 21st century, lot of people are depend on the agriculture sector only. But today, the dependency on the agriculture sector has been reducing day by day, right? Because of the innovation in the technologies and the upgradation process, right? Due to this LPG policy, which has been started in the year 1991, today also it has been really showing a good growth. Let us discuss the changes that has been taken place after the independence till now. Okay, now after the independence, definitely we can see there are a lot of changes that has been taken place. Okay, after independence we have started to grow our economy, right? We have taken the help of the 5-year plan which has been in the year 1950, right? Approximately that year. So after going with this 5-year plan booster, we have came into the very good economical position, right? In some of the areas of our country, it has really shown a good growth. Take an example of Mumbai, Pune, right? Uh, Delhi, Kolkata, such kind of metropolitan city, they have shown a good growth, right? Even in Pune also we can see, uh, even in Pune also we can see there is a huge growth which is being happening. A lot of new setups has been coming up, right? There are other sectors also. Even you can see the metro is also running at this stage in Pune sector, right? In Pune district. Now, these changes is really helpful for the sake of providing the employment opportunity, for the sake of growing the economy as well, right? Business in Asian India, right? In Asian India, we can see the business is really, um, uh, really shown a growth. I mean, we are having a traditional business such as the business of agriculture. The farmers are doing the best business, and a lot of people are shifting themselves from that business to the service industry, right? uh, Technological industry, due to which we can say there is a lot of amount of growth which has been taken place. Now the next point that we are going to see is a structure of business. There are different types of organization. Okay, we are going to see the organization. Take an example of Asian India not only had business forms that easily meet the notion and the contracting entity, but also had other forms and went considerably further for many features that has a common to more recent organizational forms such as corporation, right? The role for the state and the private sector. Definitely over here, after LPG policy has been amended in our country. Definitely, private sector has really boosted a lot. I mean, the dependency on the private sector has been increased as compared to the government sector, because each and every employee in our country, they are not able to get a government job. So the private sector is really showing a huge amount of growth over here, right? Due to which we can say that definitely in future we are going to grow a lot, right? The concept of sustainable development has received growing recognition, but it is a new idea for many business executives. Okay, for most of the concept remains abstract and theoretical. Okay, protecting an organizational capital base as a well accepted business principle. Okay, now we are going to see the business as a sustainable development. See, sustainable development is to achieve its potential. Okay, it means a planning and the measurement of the business enterprises activity, right? Sustainable development is achieved only when there is a sustainable growth in each and every sector. Okay, the sector can be the agriculture sector, the sector can be the transportation sector, right? The sector can be a service sector, or the sector can be technological sector, right? In each and every field there should be a sustainable development. Sustainable development creates only when there is a opportunities of growing, right? And these opportunities of growing can be converted into the positive approach only when there is a support in each and every field. See, we require a support from the government, right? Because government are the person those who are helping the organization, helping any organization, or we can say any one place for the growth. But the growth can be achieved only when there is a certain form of development, right? The development can be carried only when there is the development work can be carried only when there is a willingness of the people, those who are living over there. They are want to grow or not. If they want to grow, definitely there will be a development. If they don't want to grow, then definitely that area will not going to show a growth in future, right? So we need to understand this concept. Now, implications of business, right? The business implication can be the business implication and the business protection can be achieved only when there is a proper social well-being and the proper economic development. Okay, sustainable development is a good business. in itself. It create opportunity for the supplier, for the green consumers, developers, and the environmental safer material for process firms, and to invest in the eco efficiency and those that engage themselves in the social well-being. These generally have competition. Okay, they will earn local immunity of goods, goodwill to see that relates with the bottom line. Okay, now practical consideration. Okay, understand. Okay, over the last decade we have seen that many polls confirming the importance of the environmental to American. He says only the irresponsible company would dismiss the train for passing, paid or failed to recognize the need of integrated environmental consideration of every aspect of the business. Now if you want to grow in the life, we need to understand that business plays an important role